My product I'd like to present is hand warmer koozies. My customer segment market, right, ranges from the ages of 21 to 60. They tend to be the middle class and they are the blue collar workers, ones that like to enjoy outdoor activities and tailgates. Usually during this time of the later season of football, your hands tend to get cold. With this new product, you are now being able to keep your hands warm and keep your beverage cold. With this market being such a specific market, a niche market, you are now finding a new market space that is willing to be entered. So, with cold weather, you will need to keep your hands warm. But doesn't it get annoying to constantly having to remove your gloves? With this product is to remove the struggle of having to constantly remove your gloves at tailgating or any outdoor activity. Something that you find a lot when you are tailgating is having to remove your gloves to reach into your pockets to grab your phone, possibly eating, or even just playing some outdoor games like cornhole or anything else. But you find a lot of the times that your hand will get too cold to keep your gloves off, but keeping your glove on turns into a struggle. Now, how will I reach my market? My market, since my customer segment is so young and so old at the same time and having such a diverse range, I've thought of three different ways. With social media platforms being so large in the younger ages, I thought taking to Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook would be the best way to interact with my younger customers. With their great involvement of being so interactive on social media, I will then be able to have them project their feedback, not just to me, but also to the public, which creates that word of mouth interaction between them and their peers, being able to sell my product. Now, with the later generations, I would think being more of a personal selling, doing a better way of interacting with my customers would be in this personal sense of going to the tailgate specifically to promote my product and maybe give them like a free sample. And then this would also create that word of mouth because, hey, Bob over here has this really cool new hand warmer koozie thing. Man, it really does get cold at these games. I would really like one. And it kind of more of it's self advertising. You're creating your customers into your own advertisement. How I want to keep my relationship with my customers. Just allowing the customers to customize their koozies, I think, is a huge way of creating a relationship with them. A way that you could do that is by allowing them to specifically customize the sports team that they prefer to support, like the Browns. You could do the Browns logo. You could put the bulldog on there, or just do the colors that they of their sports teams. Also, keeping with the community, keeping interactive with the community. Doing promotional events such as maybe like cornhole tournaments, being able to promote our product at these events, maybe handing out a few free samples, having some vendors sit around and pass out our product to the customer would be a great way of keeping interactive with our customers and being able to get personal and reaction feedback as well. Some of my key partners. As we go into the delivery part of it, I'd prefer to go online with a lot of my sales, and that would be to use Amazon. Amazon would be a great provider in the delivery process because of their trustworthiness with the customer. They're such a large and established company that they are trustworthy, and they will be able to take it in a timely fashion that is safe and efficient to deliver to the customer. Now, with my vendors, I'd prefer to target the ballpark stadiums, football stadiums, and eventually moving our way into soccer and hockey stadiums would be a great new step towards creating a large partnership in the vendors. Being able to put my product personally in the stadiums would help me grow the business, as well as reach the market that I'm not eventually tapping into. Now, being inside of the stadium would allow me to interact with more customers, and I'd create more of a space that would um, remove me from doing the personal selling and actually giving the the brands or the teams the possibility of marketing it themselves. My key resources would be in the beginning to keep the staff small because we are a cost-driven um, company. I'd like to keep the staffing to a minimal. But as we start to hook those large vendors, we'll need to grab more people and need more hands-on workers to be able to print the pressings of the logos, possibly doing color changings. But we would like to do a lot of our business in the way of we have a producer produce our colors and the whole process of how we want the hand warmer to fit into the koozie, so that there will be a handle and a mesh netting where the um, hand warmer will go. We would leave that up to the producer itself to produce that for us, and we will buy that from them, and then we will do the customizing of the stamping and the slogans or whatever the company that we are selling to would prefer. Some key activities that would really work out, I think, for us is promotional night, something that would grow, that tends to bring in a ton of people. Um, Going on nights that tend to be bigger and tend to bring in more revenue for just teams in general would be a good night for us to promote as well for us, because we will then being able to put our name out there a little bit more. I also wanted to do bundling purchases. So with bundling purchases, this would be more for the our direct contact with consumers, not so much of the franchises um, or like the sports teams. This would be for more of the people that want to purchase our products straight through us instead. With say like a family package, letting them buy like if they buy one or buy three, they get like one extra kind of thing. And then we'd also like to keep a refund for the defectives if there is any problem, or if something goes wrong with our product through the delivery process. We will fully refund and return them back the product as it would be brand new. Our revenue stream. As I said earlier, I'd like to keep this mainly to online sales as best I could if it were to go through me. I'd price it around $6, as I feel like that is a comfortable medium, as the customization process for a standard koozie is around $4, $5. I think giving the ability of saying that our product is at $6 is acceptable for the fact that of its unique characteristics of being able to keep your hand warm but also keeping your beverage cold. I think that is the best way to also create a larger profit margin for ourselves as well. Our last thing would be to talk about is the cost structure, our variable costs and our inherited costs. Now, obviously, our inherited cost comes with the process of buying the materials and creating the designs that will be pressed onto the koozies, but our variable cost will go into the fact of being how much we will need this month or the following month to produce how many products we plan on shipping out, or how many goods are needed for this select month during that time. I would like to thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a great night.